Hey everyone. I wanted to take this moment to show you all an earnings play that came up recently. This was with ResMed, RMD. If you're familiar with earnings plays, one of the ideas is to take advantage of a volatility crush. And I was anticipating doing that, and so I opened a strangle on it, and this is on the sell side, with the anticipation that the IV drop would bring the price down to my exit and I would profit. However, that didn't happen. But what did happen is fascinating enough that I wanted to record this video. So on the 24th, the IV was around 72, and when earnings came out, the IV dropped to a remarkable 15 to 12%. This is relative IVR, IV rank. And that kind of blows me away. I've never seen right after an earnings report the IV drop that significantly. I've seen it drop a lot. I've even seen it drop into the 20s, but then to drop down that low, and then as you'll notice, it continues down to today where it's hovering around 8. And that is just crazy. It is very hard to manage a position when the IV is this low. The other factor to take in consideration is the fact that it jumped this high. Had the IV just dropped down to here, down to this 12% or so, 15, 12%, that would have been fine had the position basically stayed nearish my entry point, which is this yellow arrow here. However, it jumped all the way up, and then it eventually, a few days later, exceeded my break-even point. And now today, you can see that it's dropping down below my break-even point. But let me tell you, I am probably going to take this for a scratch. I'm not going to try and profit off of it. And the reason for that is because of this amazingly low volatility here. This is just too much to deal with. There's just no way the position, even given time, is going to drop low enough to exit with a profit. I currently have the exit at around $6 if I recall correctly. And if we flip over to the options chain, you can see my current position, which I turned into a straddle. It's a standard protocol that I do. I turn strangles into straddles after earnings if they don't go my way. But right now it's over $12, I believe, for closing. And so I want to get this down to 6. So I want this to cut in half. But with the IV down this low, I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to close for a scratch. Between the theta and hopefully a little bit of delta decay here, this will bring it down into the breaking even range for my position. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. The short of it is basically in an earnings play or anytime you're relying on a volatility crush moment like this, you have to be aware that delta can definitely overtake it. And then you have the second consequence: if the IV stays super low like this, you're going to have trouble managing it. So we can always try and exit for at least a scratch, but we have to be aware that we're not always going to be able to take a profit on everything. Such is the nature of the game. Thanks for listening.